So we're going to just get started on this. And then again, if there's questions that you have that haven't been answered, please hang around a little bit after, and we are going to get to all your questions as soon as we can. So with that being said, we're going to mute everybody. Should we mute everybody, Lori? What do you think?
What you can do is you can mute, but click the pink little box that says that they can unmute themselves. Do you see that little box?
You know, I want you guys to all try to mute yourselves, because I think you all need to learn how to do that. So those of you who don't know how to mute yourselves, please mute yourselves.
Meet myself? I'm sorry, what do you want me to do?
M-U-T-E.
Don't mute yourself. So you're going to mute yourself. So what you're going to do is there's three, if you hover in your upper right-hand corner, there should be a mute button. And if you are on the phone, please mute your phone.
And then throughout this, if you have any questions, you can be asking the questions, and Shoshana or Julia or anyone that can help you with that answer, and will answer it, because I won't be able to look at them during this. And then there are also, Shoshana, have you put the link to this so that they have the link?
Sorry, the link to
the slideshow?
Oh, after this ends, I'm going to share it, so just hang around after we're able to screen share, because I've got way too many things open right now, and I think it'll get lost. So as soon as we finish screen sharing, we will share it. I will share it in the Yammer group, the link to this, as well as in the future Highline. If you don't currently get the Highline and you're not on Yammer, please email me or Lori, and we will get you. We will tell you how to get there.
And all that information is on the last page.
Oh, and Penny, as a good point, you can be watching our video and not necessarily have your video on. So if you find that your personal internet is lagging, if you turn off your video in your bottom left-hand corner, for most of you on a desktop, it'll say stop video. That doesn't mean you're going to stop watching us. That means your own video is going to stop, which might be less of a lag. Thank you for the reminder on that, Penny.
That will help with your bandwidth. So first of all, congratulations, you're all logged in. So we all have some level of being a Zoomer. And we're going to start with a short clip of that will tell us that we are not alone in this world of Zoom. And I love this picture because there's some meetings that I do have audio only, and I do look different on this. All right. Bring your sharing, pausing is shared. Paused. All right, I'm going to sharing for a second and see why I can't share the video.
Do you want me to try?
Hey, everybody.
Let me pause it and share it again. See, technic problems already.
I'll share it if you want me to.
I got it right. Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason, it said it was paused. I've never seen that before. And it didn't let me optimize it.
Oh, I guess they're starting.
There we go. Okay, so we hope you enjoyed that. I know a lot of you had seen that, but that made me laugh. I'm hoping that none of you have gone viral for anything, and that you're all allowed to use more than 3 pieces of toilet paper.
Yes. All right.
So welcome back, everybody. And now we're going to go back to the, take it away, Lori.
I'm trying to get back, and it is.
Here. Can we share it?
Yes, if you want to share it, that would be great, because mine.
Okay. Well, now you need me to open it. Okay, hold on one second, gang. And welcome to everybody who is here. If you are just joining us, we'd love it if you could go to your chat and type in your name and maybe what sisterhood you're from or what brought you here today. And that way we can learn a little bit about you. Okay. Were you able to share it, babe? Or you got...
Yeah, I got it back.
There we go. All right. See, even we sometimes need help.
Actually, I only have the front page. It's kind of frozen.
And make sure to mute yourself. Thank you, Margie. Okay. Did you want me to share or you got it?
I got it.
Okay.
Go to view.
Can you close your share screen? See, we did this intentionally because we want to show you all the stuff that could go wrong while there's 45 women on here all hoping to learn about Zoom. You're welcome.
Okay, so someone was talking about getting on through an iPad, and you do not have to have a Zoom account, and you can always, like Julia says, use a smartphone and log in by clicking join a meeting, and all you need is the meeting ID number to join. And so with the camera, this is crazy. It's just doing its own thing. All right.
Haunted?
So make sure that you have good lighting. Like I have an extra light here that I put up. I have like the blind that I can open. I have a ceiling fan. So make sure that everyone can see you and that your name is correct. And it's better if you don't move the device, kind of like Henrietta or whatever her name was, and stay seated in one place. And what we do in the meetings that I'm in is just usually when you come in, we just have everyone mute themselves or they're already muted unless they are talking. And I saw this cute thing that said, not muting your mic is the new reply all, because people can hear you talking, they can hear your dog bark, all of those kind of things. And headphones have helped some people hear better, like Shoshana has, and sometimes you don't have speakers in your laptop, so if you can find a pair of headphones, your headphones for your phone also work for your laptop. And burning questions. I think everyone has found the comments. Is there anyone that hasn't or has difficulty knowing where the comments are? These are all like just the beginning stuff at first. Reactions. I was showing someone this and she wasn't aware that there was a couple different places for you to react. One, usually on the bottom, there's just a button that says reactions, and that is the hand clapping and the thumbs up. If everybody wants to try one of those right now. So look at the bar on the bottom and it should say reaction. I see Joni has it, Susan. If you're having trouble, you have to click the little arrow that goes up, so it'll say reaction, and then you click the pointing up arrow like part of a triangle, and then you should see these two areas. And feel free to unmute at any time if you have any questions about that. The second place you are able to have reactions is click on manage participants, or for you it may say participants, and when you do, on the right hand side you should see a icon for raising your hand, saying yes, no, and then I put an arrow here. If you click the more, there's even a thumbs down, a thumbs up, I'm going to get coffee. So if everyone, you can try, raise your hand. If this is working for you, click yes, and then we can see how many, or Shoshana can, because my screen's a little off.
Okay. I've got 12 yeses.
Shoshana, this is Dana, and I cannot get mine. I go to reactions.
Okay, reactions is, do you have the box on the left, the clapping and the thumbs up?
Yes.
Okay, so to get the box on the right, the raise the hand, the yes and the no, you have to click on participants where it says 43. Do you see that? It should say like mute
Oh,
video.
yeah.
So click on participants, and then on the bottom right, it should have those choices.
Or underneath,
Or
underneath it.
the participants.
Lori,
Yes.
this is Barbara from San Rafael. All of the things that you're describing work for a desktop, but they're totally different on an iPad or a phone. So is there anything that will address what to do when you're using an iPad?
I have it on the iPad. If you click on participants, it's on the bottom underneath all the participants. You'll see it.
All I've got is chat and invite, nothing else.
No, it should say mute, stop video, share content, and then participants.
Yeah, I know. I clicked on participants.
And then it has all the list, 43 people.
It has all the people.
And then
But
at
it-
the very bottom, it doesn't have a
Below
chart.
that.
No, it just says chat and invite. That's it.
Oh,
Now-
yes.
Okay. Barbara, we want to help you. Could you maybe hang for a couple minutes after the meeting, and then we can give you some personal? Awesome. Thank you. And that goes for anybody else. If you have, if you're working off a tablet, if you're working off a phone, the interface is a little different, and we definitely want to help you. So if you can hang about a little bit after, we will definitely help you out. And Barbara, you did something great. You did raise your hand, so you do have that functionality, which is awesome.
That's
So
it.
yay for that.
And if we can't find it, we'll find the answer for you and get it to you.
We will. And while we're screen sharing, some of you might have noticed if you're in the desktop that you can change the view. And I believe we're going to get to that also. You can remove it completely. You can have it so the person who's talking is the only person you see. You can have a long row, or if you click on the Brady Bunch squares, as I like to refer to them, the 3x3 grid, you'll see more people.
Let
And
me
again,
stop.
there we go.
And let's try
See?
that. So up on the top, if you want to see, like right now, Shoshana's face, you would click speaker, and her face, for me, she's the big speaker. I don't know if I'm the big person for you. And then I click on the gallery view, and that's when you get more gallery people if you are on a laptop than you do if you're on an iPad or a phone. But at least you can get on, like Julia says. So if you need to, get on your phone and don't miss the meeting, and then we can figure out how to get you onto a computer. So on the right, you can go, like there's 4 pages of people on my computer. So I can click back and forth and see everyone. And then what's nice is for participants, when I get that list, Susan Edelman's coming in. When I get that list, I have a list on the right of everyone. And if you are the host and Shoshana says that Diana's raising her hand and there's a lot of people on, there's a search bar, and I can start typing in Diana, and then I could see that Diana has her hand raised. So I'm going to lower her hand, and then I'm going to unmute her. And then I would say, Diana, your hand was raised. Do you have a question? And then I could unmute, unless she doesn't let me. And then that search bar comes in handy when you have like 50, 70 people on there, and somebody's watching for you, the hand raised. You can go in that search bar and start typing in that person's name. Now the problem happens when the person doesn't have the right name. So say it says Philip and it's actually Joanna, and so they'll say, well, all right, I just lost, someone is sharing their screen.
Okay, I think it's Eileen. Hold on one second. Let me turn that part off.
That's okay. When I'm a teacher and I teach 7 and 8-year-olds, we're going to talk about how you set up your meeting. You can set it up so you're the only person that shares your screen, which is good.
See, we wanted to show you everything. We wanted to show you what happens when you don't do stuff, when you do stuff.
Yeah, we're showing it all. All right.
And since I can see everybody right now,
Now you can.
okay, cool. Now I can. Okay, really quick. If you haven't had dinner yet, give me a thumbs up. If you've already had dinner, give me a clap. If you haven't had dinner yet, give me a thumbs up.
Virtual,
If
not
you've
a,
already
not
had dinner, go to your reaction. If you haven't had dinner yet,
Yeah.
give me a thumbs up. If you've already had dinner, bring up a clap.
What if you're eating dinner as
Here. Shoshana,
If
it's
you're
all
eating dinner right now, and make sure to do it right up to the computer so we can all see what you're eating. All right, cool. You guys got through that part of the lesson. Good job.
Question, I did it, but it's not showing. I don't see it on my screen.
Lori's saying that?
Yeah,
Do you have on the bottom, there's a mute and there's a video.
yeah.
Right now, do you?
Goes away.
You're
It's only up
oh,
for
now
a
you're
minute.
back.
It just
No.
go away. You'll hit it and it'll go away after a few seconds. It will not be
Oh, okay,
permanently.
okay, all right.
Yeah,
Got
you have to do it continuously to keep it going.
Because
Okay.
we're
And we're gonna,
glasses
I want to
still
make sure
up,
everyone,
mine's gone.
I'm gonna remute people because sometimes if you're not muted, there's weird feedback. Don't take it personally. We love you a lot. Okay, we're gonna go back to this. I know there's a lot that we're going through, and if you miss something, don't worry. We are both available for questions. So we're gonna go to background. Some of you already are really good at this, and some of you really want to get good at it. So take it away, Lori.
All right, so virtual backgrounds, where you access that is next to the bar. Right today for me it's on the top, but it's usually on the bottom. There's the mute, and then there's a downward arrow, then there's stop video, and there's another downward arrow. You're going to click on the arrow to the right of stop video or start video. And when you click on that, it's going to say choose virtual background. So you can click on it now if you want. And there are specific hardware requirements. And but what's nice is you can download virtual backgrounds. I have downloaded Jewish stars, all different kinds of backgrounds. Unfortunately, my computer doesn't work for it. But once you click that, you should come to a page that looks like this. And there are a few options that everyone has. Everyone has the Golden Gate Bridge. Everyone has the fancy lights and the earth. But you can add, like you may have to move your pictures of people, but I put a little add arrow that you click that little plus sign, and you can add any picture that you want from Google, say from your family, anything that you want. If it tells you that you need a green screen, this is an example. You go to your computer's system, and my computer has the right version, so there's a happy face, but unfortunately it needs a quad core. I did not know what a quad core was, and I thought my laptop was new, but I found out it's 5 years old, and I'm trying to convince my husband I need one just so I can do backdrops. So you have to meet all of these different requirements for it to work. And back here, there are all the requirements. This is going to be a link that you can go to see why it's not working for your computer. And this is a video that will explain it. So after you watch those, if you still have any questions, we can help you with that. And I'm going to stop share for a moment. Is there anyone that got a new background? Oh, Joni's in San Francisco. Oh, I like yours. Lynn, is that a virtual background, WRJ?
Hi, Michelle Scheinkoff, who's our district president, took a picture of this banner that we have for our Midwest district. And she emailed it to myself and a few other people. It was used yesterday for our virtual program that's on our, thank you.
Yeah, yours. So what happens to me is if I choose a virtual background and I have the Jewish stars, they're on my shirt now, if you can see me, and they're not on the back. So I would need, it says I have a green screen, which I don't, and it just says that, yeah, I can't do it. So I'm gonna click none. And hopefully, it looks like it's something still there.
And Shoshana pixelates when she does hers.
That was the first time I've ever been able to get something where you can actually still see my face. So we're definitely moving up in the world. But I like Denise's. I like Julia's. It looks very peaceful. Deb's doing something funky with hers. So, you know, when we get off the phone, you can practice. You can practice during the meeting. I know a lot of you are really good at multitasking because you're all in sisterhood. So feel free to try. And if it's not working for you on this, I know some people it works on there if they get the app. And then there's people who distract during meetings. So thank you, sweetheart. Sometimes the app is better at doing background.
Right. And I could do it on my phone, but usually I'm like in the meeting and I haven't really run a meeting from, I'm too afraid to run a meeting from my phone. So I haven't had a background.
The other thing is you just have to load them to your for a laptop. You just have to load the pictures to your laptop.
Right.
And name them. And then you can just add them with that little plus sign on the virtual background area.
And what's nice is if you have an Apple phone and you have an Apple computer.
Yeah, I have an HP.
They'll just share it to each other and send it right to
You can just go to your photos in iCloud.
Right.
That's where I got mine.
So this is what we're doing right now is the share screen. And you can set that up when you set the meeting. Like, for example, like I said, the 7 and 8-year-olds are not allowed to share, but we found out that you are allowed to share on J Pacific District. So on the right, when you set up a meeting, you can say one participant can share, only the host can share, when can they start sharing. There's a lot of different settings that you can do. And my number one recommendation is to have all of them preset and ready to go. So it's today, I don't know why it wasn't working as easy, but I think it's because I wasn't the host from the beginning. But there is a YouTube video on how to share a screen. So if I'm not making any sense. And what you see, on the top right is what I see. I can see a few people and the screen, and I believe that's what you see as well. And up on the top, that's where you click, or on the bottom where it says share. And then what I try to do before I have a meeting, sometimes if you have a lot of windows open, you can have like 20 or 30 of these and you're trying to find the right thing to share. So it's good to have your computer all cleaned up and ready before you go, so you know what to click on, and then you click on the button share. Now, we're going to try the raising our hand again. How many of you have your own Zoom account? We'll start with that question first. How many of you have a Zoom account, you log in, you technically can start a meeting on your own? You can give us a thumbs up or... And then give us a round of applause if your sisterhood has a Zoom account. Good job. Dana has, Deb. Awesome. Okay, so you do not, like we said before, have to have an account. It's web-based, and you can get an account that is free. And there's also a paid account, and you can ask your synagogue for a discount code from URJ, and you can pay it monthly. And if you have a lot of Zooms coming up for your sisterhood, and switch back to the basic account on the months that you do not need all the extra features. The basic free account, you can have up to 100 participants. You can only plan one meeting at a time. For some people, the meetings are log you out in 40 minutes. I asked my mother-in-law, and she said that most of her and her friends' meetings are over 40 minutes, so they just log back in when it cuts them out. But if you pay the approximately $15 a month, you have unlimited amount of time. So that is the benefit.
Also, lately, Zoom has been very nice, and usually if you're a first time or maybe it's your second meeting, they'll extend it at no charge for you for another 40 minutes or whatever time, again, just to get you used to using it. So if you've never done it before and you don't have an account currently, maybe give it a shot this week or this weekend and set one up, and maybe talk to a couple of friends and play around with backgrounds and see how you like it.
Definitely. I even had someone who had set up a meeting, and it was with one other person, and for some reason it wasn't working, and she called me. And if you have an account, you can help someone, because all I did was I started a meeting, invited them, and they were able to have their meeting, and I was able to log out of it, and they were able to keep on going. So the more, I think, spread the wealth. The more people that can get Zoom, the better. So when you sign up for Zoom, for me personally, I used my Google account because I'm a teacher, and I got a free unlimited account because I was a teacher. So I logged in. For some reason, they don't recommend that option. They want you just to not log in through Facebook, not log in through, just put all of your information in. I don't know if that has to do with hacking or whatever, but here is their support, their video on how to do it. Like I said, if I'm not making a lot of sense. So starting an account. Did anyone have any trouble, any questions about that before we move on? Or is there anything in discussion?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Can you change, I think I have a few Zoom accounts, I'm not sure. And sometimes my name comes up a little funny because not all my accounts have my real name on them.
Yes, I'm going to show you when you go to share meeting, and you click on the let me find the word. When you click on, where did it go? Copy the invitation. It will say, for example, Lori Glaske invited you to this meeting. Well, it's not me, it's all of second grade. You're able to edit that. You're able to go in and say second grade teachers invited you, or if I do the meeting for my sisterhood, I can erase Lori Glaske and I can put Brenda Beck, or I can put TBS Sisterhood. So I'm going to show you where that is so you can change that. I'm sure in settings you could find one account and change it all in the settings, but I just change it every time. Sometimes Lori Glaske does invite you to a meeting, but
are you talking about the email, or are you talking about the Zoom session? I mean, on the Zoom session. For instance, I had to change my quote last name from is here to Chaikin when I logged in.
Now for me, the names, I thought it's the name that's on the system. Like it'll say Fred's iPad, or it'll say Lori Glaske. If you're not logging in through Zoom, I think it's more from the device that you're using, Julia.
If it's a mobile device, it'll take your device name. But if you log in from a computer and you were logged in on a Zoom account, let's say for the district, and that's why I came on as PD today,
Right.
because I had hosted this morning's earlier SoCal meeting. Once you log in, even if you close up everything, you remain logged in. So you must actively log out.
Okay. Thank you.
And then, like, because this is an Apple compute, well, I'm through Zoom, but yes, if you're on your phone or something like that, it takes it from that.
And then if you want to change your name in a meeting, if you hover on those three dots by your name, you can make it whatever you want to be. You don't have to stick to the name that you have that pops up. I can make it say Queen Shosh.
Yes, or kids could say, like, #1 gamer, I have a YouTube station. And you're like, you're 7 years old, put your name, Matthew.
I like that.
But, oh yeah, Queen, perfect.
Thank you.
Right.
All right, so going forward, just to keep things going, we're going to ask everybody to please put their questions in chat for the moment, so we can get through this part. And then if you have individual or specific questions, hang around after, and we're going to be happy to get you those answered. So just so we can get through this in a timely fashion. Otherwise, you could be on until midnight. Nobody wants.
So scheduling a meeting, you get to schedule for whether you want people to have video or not, how are they going to connect? Can they connect by phone? Can they connect by computer? I always check both because I'm just happy that somebody's able to join. I think it should just be a default. And then sometimes for school, they require a meeting password. But you can also put up in your settings that you want that password to be part of your URL. So if they click the HTTP and they click that link, that password's already in there. So there's a lot of settings that you can play with. Enable join before host. I recommend that for adults, not children. And that means that they could be having a meeting without you. So today at 6:30, if you went on a half hour before me and Shoshana, you and your friends could get on and you could take over the Zoom call. You can decide whether you want to select mute participants upon entry, whether you want a waiting room. We have to have a waiting room in elementary. Whether you want to record the meeting automatically. That has saved me before. When I'm the recording secretary for Pacific District, and if I can't make a meeting, Shoshana records it, and then I can go back and I can do the minutes. So recording the meeting is a good idea. This is kind of what it looks like. You can set up reoccurring meetings. So I have meetings 5 days a week at 9:30 in the morning, and I can click reoccurring meeting. I can say Monday through Friday. I could say once a month, so you could put all of your sisterhood meetings in. The nice thing about that is it keeps the same link. People do not have to keep looking for a new link. I don't know why this example has video off, and so I always click host on, participants on, telephone and computer audio. If you want the calendar, I always have to do a require meeting password, and then you click the word schedule. You can change the meeting, any of the settings before the meeting, but if you try to change any of the settings during the meeting, it won't work. You would have to go out and then start the meeting over again. And how do you invite participants? You can do it through your own. I do it through my own email. I do it manually. I have some parents that take that link and put it in their calendar. I have it go to my calendar as well. And so what I do is there is next to, let me go back. Once you click schedule, Next to all of this information, it will say to you, copy the invite. And that's what I always copy. And I get this information. And so up on the top, it will say Lori Glaske or Charlie Osborne is inviting you to a meeting. That's where you can edit it. You don't just, you can type and change any of this. So I will put TBS Sisterhood, any of those things right there. And then usually the calendar, I will move that to the bottom because most people don't put it in the calendar. And this join Zoom meeting is the most important thing. And then if you have a password or the meeting ID number, they will go directly underneath that. And then you would just click copy the meeting invitation, and then I paste it into an email. I don't know if, Julia, you do it a different way.
I also like to paste it into an email and send it. And where there's a link like this to download to the calendar, I like to include that. It's not always there, but recurring it is. Because if you click on the link, it automatically goes into your computer calendar. And then you've got the link there on the day that you need to get on the Zoom. You don't have to go hunting through your email anymore or paste it in.
That's my favorite. I just go to the bottom, find my calendar, and it's like, you have a Zoom in 8 minutes. Here's all the information. Or it'll even say, do you want to see it from the email if you need to like print anything out for that. So it does help a lot. All right. Oh, and then where it says topic, my meeting, you can change that. Say that I only want them to know I set it up reoccurring and I actually accidentally set it up for Saturday. I can erase that. There still might be a meeting that day, but they don't even know about it. So you can play around with this page, or if you're only inviting certain people to certain meetings, you can do that.
The other part to keep aware of is your time zone setting. Make sure that if you are setting up a meeting for someone else, what time zone they want it in, and then what time zone it comes in. So for example, I set up a lot of the PD meetings. Well, we have some women who are in parts of the West that didn't change when we changed to daylight savings time. So please ask them, which time zone do you want it in before you send it out?
Yes. And then recording a meeting, when I'm done with the meeting, I just have, usually I have to wait just a few minutes while my computer is capturing the entire meeting. And then it always is called the same thing. It doesn't change the name of the meeting based on the name that I created. So each day I will put it as either the date or the topic that we were teaching, and then I just throw it into the file that I need it, in case I need it at a later time. So like Shoshana did, she reminded everyone at the beginning of the meeting that we are recording, and we only record for elementary in case something bad happened, or someone said that we did something, we have evidence. But like in this instance, we're going to be posting this on Yammer, and you may not want your face shown, so this will give you the option to turn off your video if you wanted to. And then how to end a meeting. So the host has an end meeting, you have a leave meeting. But if, like when that one teacher and her student, I didn't want to stay on for the meeting, I was able to make her the host, and I was able to leave my own meeting, and they were able to carry on. So if you start a meeting and you have an emergency and you're the sisterhood president, you do not have to stop the meeting. You can change the host. You do that underneath participants. You would just go click on, so I would click on say flow, and I would say make her the host, and then she would become the host. And then if I'd come back and I'm fine, then I could take it back from her. Sorry. but which has helped because I have a student teacher and he wanted to try to unmute everyone and be the teacher, and he got on and he couldn't figure it out, and I was able to quickly take the session back. So, and if you have an account where you pay for the account, you can have co-hosts. And that's what like Shoshana and I and Julia are today. You can have multiple hosts. So Shoshana could be, you know, checking the, what's going on with what you're writing, and I can be doing this and all of that. So, it's the easiest platform for that. There's other platforms out there and you have to be the last one to go out, and or people can get it. Yeah, so this is very secure and safe. Now, oops, how are we doing on time? We have a few minutes. The bonus is breakout rooms. Only how many of you thumbs up if you know what breakout rooms are, and a clapping emoji if you've done a breakout room. Julia's done, Carol. They are amazing, and we'll probably be seeing a lot of those at the Freed conference, at our virtual convention. What's nice is if you have 100 people and you in your Zoom, and you could break them into 10 groups of 10, and you could have a moderator in each one, and you can preset it up in advance, or you can do it right in the middle of the meeting. And so every day I teach a lesson, and then I do these break rooms, and the kids, it narrows it down. Instead of 75 kids, I'm talking to 8 kids, and there's a teacher in each room. And so I really recommend those for your sisterhood. Like if you want to have committees meet, like have a 10-minute committee time and put them into their room so they could discuss, it's very beneficial. So you can select the number of rooms, and they will split it up, or you can pre-assign rooms, and you can move people around. So if Dana wanted to be in room 1 and then she wants to move to room 2, she could tell me every 5 minutes, move me. I can go in and just, oh, now she's in room 2. Now she's in room 3. And she could see everyone and talk to everyone. So breakout rooms.
And for those who are curious about that, our next screen will actually sort of tease our next Zoom that will deep dive a little more, and we're going to have you in breakout rooms based on your needs, your desires, how much margarita you've had, all sorts of fun ways we can break you up into different rooms. So you'll get a chance to experience those in person.
Do you want to have me as host for a second, and I'll just put them in 2 just for a second so they could see? Or do you want to just do it next time?
You are now the host.
All right, so where more? Okay, breakout rooms. So I'm just going to put you in, I clicked it, and usually it just comes right up. In a perfect world, at school, it comes up instantly, and I click 2, or if I actually click 4, and then they're in those rooms. But it's not coming up. And you don't have it anymore? Okay. It's not working. So we will skip that for now. And the next thing that we have is, we plan on doing more of these tech tools, and if there's not as many people, maybe we'll use my account because I know how to use it. And so to help us plan our Zoom, there is a Google form. I've even used a Google form for my students to answer questions. Google forms are very easy to do. We'll be doing a Google session. Oops, somebody else is sharing.
Oh, is it me?
That's okay. Oh, create breakout rooms. Okay, I just have to do it for a second. All right, here we go. Took that one.
Now the kick with the breakout rooms is we lose the main host from the other room. So
Hi.
hi guys. So we're all here. We're gonna go back to the main room, but now you can see how it works out. Just to note that if you set up a room with breakout rooms, it's only going to record the main room. So you might break people out into different rooms. It's only going to record the main chat in the main room, but this is how that works, and it's very fun and helpful. And we are here, and you can ask for help if you need something. And on the right hand on the bottom, I see a leave breakout room. If you guys see that, give me a thumbs up. Okay, so now I'm going to leave the breakout room so we can go tell Lori that this worked. Awesome. Okay, guys, let's all leave the breakout room. And we're going to return.
Zoom.us account settings.
Yes.
And then you'll see it at the bottom of your.
Okay.
And Lori, we all learned that when we left the breakout room, we lost you too. So if you said something really, really awesome, we're really sorry that we missed it. But breakout room, the other breakout room, we had a party. We had some martinis. There were nail dancers. It was an awesome room.
I didn't go to either room. What happened is I'm in with like the people that are in the mush pot. And so when I do it with 4 other teachers, I put 4 rooms, and then I stay with the 6 to 9 kids that can't figure it out. And we have our own session, and it's amazing. One kid was like, I wanted to come to your session, so I click later. And then I guess there's a later choice. And then we had more time. Instead of having like a dozen people in our group, we had like 6 kids in our group, and we could talk more. So I would recommend that you keep one person to not go into a room. And that also enables me, they would send me a note saying, there's an emergency, and I could go, I'll be right back, and I would go check, and there's never been an emergency. Like, is there not a teacher in your room? And they're like, we don't know who pushed the button, but there's no emergency in our room. But there is, you are able to do that. So the last page. Okay, so make sure that you fill out that form. That's going to tell us your level of comfort, if this was too easy, if this was too hard, what kind of specific questions you have, your emails there so we can contact you and personally help you with anything. So you're going to get this. We're going to share it to you. And
I just posted it in the chat. And I will also post it in Yammer, and we will also put a link in the next Highline. And we want everybody, and if there's sisters that weren't able to come tonight, please feel free to share this link with them, because we want as many people as possible who need help to get help before our larger scale events later in the year.
And then here are our personal emails that you can contact us, and the information about where everything's going to be on Yammer. And then if you don't have questions, you're welcome to do the form and leave, but we are going to stay online and help anyone that has any questions, and see how we can personally get you going.
So if you
Great
have,
thank you.
Thanks guys for coming. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And we won't be offended if you want to leave. It's okay. If you do want to stay and you do have a question, we ask that you want a thumbs up, Lori? Is that the best way to do it?
Either way, Margie has her hand up.
Okay. And if your hand drops off, so keep your hand up like Margie, that's great. Or if your hand drops off from the reactions, you can keep putting them back up. So we've got Margie, and then Freddie and Brenda. So we'll go to those 3, and then I'm just going to keep it in order. And I got a pencil, old-fashioned. Okay, as I see your name, I'm going to write it down, and then we'll just call on you, and we'll make it happen. So Margie's questions first.
Okay. And I was chatting with Shoshana about this. I would like, when I stop my video like this, I would like my picture to come up. And I loaded my picture in my profile, and it's not coming up.
Because you're not in your own account.
You need to log in. You need to log. Once you log into your Zoom account on your browser, if you just close it up, you're always logged in. Then the next time you're going to have your picture there.
I did, because I was on a Zoom account just before this for my little nephew's 3rd birthday, and I had to log in for that. So I was logged in.
Account or from a link?
No, I put in my own account and then put in the meeting ID. So so I should be logged in.
On the computer, it's done in the profile settings.
Yeah.
And then once you do it, it's always on. That photo will not appear if you log into Zoom on a mobile device. You actually have to put the photo on the mobile device too in that setting.
I'm on my laptop, so I'll play around with it then, because it should work if I'm doing it.
Computer off and then completely off and back on?
No, I haven't had it off in so long.
I would do that first.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so next up, thanks, Margie. Next up, Freddie.
So I think I'm surprised that this wasn't actually Margie's question. I thought it would be, because you used the word Google Docs. We are both very challenged on Google Docs, and our wonderful executive director and senior staff love Google Docs. And, you know, we're working with them almost daily right now on a lot of stuff. And they keep going, well, we'll put it in the Google Doc, and we don't have a clue. Like, we can go in and look at it. I send changes to the rabbi because I'm like, I don't know how to update it. And Margie feels the same way. We don't know what we're doing wrong. So we need help.
Well, we will, that's great to hear. Lori and I actually put together a Google presentation, and if enough of you want that as our next one, we can do that. If not, Freddie and Margie, I'm happy to walk you through Google. Flo's nodding her head. So one of the questions in the Google form that you'll see in our chat room is asking about what you want to know about next. If we get an overwhelming amount of people who are like, you know what, Zoom, I got it, help me with Google, we'll do that. We'll definitely get to all of them. It's just going to be a question of which one we get to first. But Freddie, we want to help you out. So maybe offline after this is over, I can get on the phone with you, and Margie and Lori, we can set up a mini thing, and then we can do a larger one, because we don't want you to hate Google. We want you to love Google the way we do.
Well,
so,
I had one other really quick question. I see a lot of people keep talking about their calendar. I have an iPhone calendar that shows me the links, but that's not my laptop. So is there a calendar on my laptop that's a Google Calendar that adds it or something? I don't know. Okay, I'll have to look at my I have an HP laptop though, not a
When you
Mac.
go to Drive, when you go to your Google Drive, your calendar is in there as well. So we can show you all of that.
You have to link your Apple Calendar to your Google Calendar, and then it will show up in both places.
That's what I want to do, because everything in my life is on there.
Freddie?
So Freddie, hold on to those Google questions. We're going to go to some of the people that have Zoom questions. If you have Google-related questions, put them on the list. We are definitely going to get to them at a Google thing, because we don't want you to be confused, but I want to make sure the Zoom people get their Zoom questions. If you have a Google question, hold off. Thank you. Brenda, are you still on, and do you still have a question?
Yes, I do. Thank you for doing this. I have the amazing good fortune of having Lori Glaske in my sisterhood. So she's been setting up all of my Zoom calls, but I think I'm at the point where I'm going to have to open an account for our sisterhood. And every Zoom call that I've been on, the host has to open the meeting because the host has the account. If I set up an account for Sisterhood, do I have to be the host for all of the meetings, or prior to the meeting, can I transfer the host responsibilities? I don't want to go to every single meeting. Do I have to open every meeting and then I can transfer the host responsibilities? How does that work if you are the holder of the account, but you don't necessarily have to go to every meeting?
That's Shoshana.
Shoshana.
Actually, you know what? I've been in every meeting that I set up, but actually I've set up quite a few meetings that I haven't been on. So Lillian has set up quite a few meetings for you. Has everything been okay? Okay. So I'm going to unmute Lillian and she can talk about how that works. So Lillian, do you want to unmute yourself or do you want me to unmute you?
Okay. It's fine when you set it up and we have the meeting. It just says the host isn't there. Or if we set up and log in as the host, which we're not really good about doing, it still works. So it actually is very, very forgiving on how you use it. It hasn't been an issue at all.
When you set up your meeting, you have to set it up, enable join before host. That's key when you set up your meeting. Then what happens is the first person who logs in with that link becomes the host. So if you want someone else to be the host, then you have to give them the host key so that they can claim host with the host key. Or you can tell the person who is the host, because you can see it in participants, please make me the host. But the first person who logs in will be the host unless you're already logged in to your Zoom.us account as the host. Then you'll be a host too, or a host.
Brenda, did I answer your question?
Brenda, I know.
Sounds very confusing.
Brenda, I know where the enable join before host and all that is.
Okay.
So Lori will show you that, and we'll put that in our next Zoom. I'm going to make a note about join before host. So don't worry about it. We're going to help you, Brenda. All right. The next 5 people I have are Penny, Lisa, Flo, Lori, L-A-U-R-I-E, and Lori, L-O-R-I. So next up is, and then Denise, who's flagging her hand. You'll go after that. So next up, Penny.
Yeah, okay. So I have the app on my iPad, and when I want to open up a meeting, if I've been invited to on the iPad, I just click, it opens, no problem. If I'm on my laptop, which is a PC, I have to, every time I do it, I have to download a file. If I go into the Zoom support /download, will that set something up so I don't have to download the file each time? I mean, something pops up and it's got the little arrow and it won't do anything unless I download the file. I don't know if that's something weird with my laptop or.
You probably need to just create an account if you want to do it on your laptop.
Well, I have the account, but do I go into the Zoom, .us /support/download and transfer everything? Because I set the account up on my iPad.
Once you click on a link, it'll prompt you to download the
file,
the app the first time you do it, and that downloads
I can't download an app on my PC though. There's no way of downloading the app.
No, it'll tell you download the
software.
Right, and every time I go on, I have to do that.
Have you downloaded? So you haven't downloaded it at all, Penny, or you've downloaded it consistently every time you try to get into it?
Every time I download it.
But because
it's not a big deal, but it's getting annoying.
But because you have the account on your iPad, that's the account that you're going to log in on your computer as well, correct?
I think
right. She just doesn't want to have to download.
This is when I get invited. If I click on a meeting.
But you can also log in on your computer and then put the meeting ID URL, right, Julia?
Yes, you can, but then you might need the password. However, if you try installing Zoom on your computer,
that's what I'm asking. If I go to the Zoom support download, will that install it then? Because I can't put an app on the PC. Unfortunately,
right. Just install it. It should. Once it's installed, it will run then whenever you click on the link. But even so, in your browser, it'll say open the app. I have it set so it asks me open the app. I don't have it set so it just automatically opens. I still have to click yes, open.
And
then I have to enable my camera.
Where does that come up on the laptop?
Right in the middle.
In the browser, a little extra window opens up on top of your browser window.
Okay. I'll have to play around with it then.
Penny, I've got
Yeah.
some time this week. I can do a screen share with you, and we can try to troubleshoot
Yeah,
that.
because
So
I mean, it's not a
offline,
big deal
I'll
each
email you.
time to click on download the file, but it would be nice if I could just click on the, some of the things I do are classes where it's from a catalog and everybody clicks on the same little link and you don't have to sign in. And it would be nice to just, and if I do it on my iPad, it's simple. I just click and it's opened, and the laptop, it's a lot more involved.
Sure.
It shouldn't be.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
I will make some time with you for this week, and we can go through it. Penny's in my sisterhood, so that's why I'm commandeering that.
I know Shoshana since she was like 12 years old or 13 years old.
So Penny will help you out with that. Thank you. Did we get your question sort of answered?
Yeah, sort of. I'm going to try it with the support download thing and see if I can do something with that, and it'll work.
Okay, awesome.
I go in
Thank you.
there. Okay, thanks. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Lisa.
Yes, I have a couple of quick ones, quickies. Here we go. When I'm under the participants and it says slower or faster, what does go slower or go faster mean?
That, luckily no one has ever clicked.
If you hit that, basically it's sort of prompting the host to move things along, or we're going too fast, can you slow down? So it's yeah, so sometimes, people.
As a typist, I'm going to start using go slower.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's good, especially if you're presenting a lot of information. If we get a lot of go slowers, and we'd be like, oh, okay, let's slow it down. Or if we're crashing, someone might say go faster.
Okay.
And I love that word. Feel free to use it in a sentence tonight.
The other question is, you mentioned a discount code from your temple or somebody. So I need to get hold of somebody to find out about a discount code so we can get a paid account. Is that what we're talking about there?
Yes, so the free accounts, you can get your own account for free. But if you want the paid accounts,
it's about $15, and instead it's like 12 something. So your temple, like our temple has an account and has graciously let our sisterhood say our sisterhood could use it, but we don't want to have to go through our rabbi, so we're getting our own. You can ask your rabbi if they have the URJ code. Okay. And we heard this morning that there was a sisterhood that was able to use it, so I would try
also,
that. Okay,
in,
so that's
in
where
the
I'm going with
URJ tent, they post that code in the URJ tent.
Correct, but the person that's doing this may not be there. So discount code, video conference versus web conferencing. What's the difference?
When I use it as a web, for me, I'm doing it without anyone, and I'm just using it to record it, and then I'm sending it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because there was something that said between video conferencing, web conferencing. Next thing was breakout rooms. That's only part of a paid account, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. There's something that said pin a video. What the heck was that? Somewhere.
Pin?
I was pin, P-I-N. Pin video. I was.
Okay, pin video means that if someone's talking and you don't want to see the Brady Bunch of everybody, you can pin a person's video, so that's the main one that you see, and that's the only one that you see. So if you don't want to see everybody eating and getting up and doing other things,
right now,
it allows you to just do that one.
Jasmine, because I just pinned her, because she has a really cool name. So I clicked pin her video, and now you're very big on my screen.
Okay, so it's to choose one person to see. Okay, gotcha. And that's as far as what we need to continue with for updating and for people to learn. I definitely believe learning how to do the account holder and changing back and forth between hosts, and learning how to do the breakout rooms and learning how to do Google Docs would be good. And I will put that on my my form when I finish filling it out. Thank you.
Okay, the next one was Flo.
Hi, it's a real simple question. In the chat, when I posted something, it says from me. Do all of you get the same thing? Does it say or does it say your names? My husband noticed it the other night, and it's a little, okay. So when
Yeah, it'll say from me if it's you. Yes.
Yeah, so like it says
Yeah,
from me
he
when
is
you
the-
send it, but on mine it says from Shoshana. And vice
Right.
versa.
So I haven't been reading the messages. So it said there were 80 messages because I was running this. But like Lisa had asked about the go faster and go slower. And it says from Lisa WW to me. So
Got
yeah.
it. Perfect. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, Lori Kaufman.
I'm going back to the basic part of it. I can read the chats, I can get into the participants, things like that. But when I go into the participants and you were asking to raise hands or say yes or no, I can raise my hand, but only in the conversation as far as the participants. I can't do a yes or no or the hand clapping. What am I doing wrong?
Okay, the yes or no is just for your host. It's for me, it's underneath everyone's name, and there's a yes and a no. So if I asked a question like, am I talking too fast? It would give, if people clicked on it, it's a green circle, and then there's a red X. All that does, it doesn't come up to your name or anything. It just tells your host that, like, kind of a poll. It's just telling me how many people said yes and how many people said no.
Okay.
But the clapping is in a different spot. It's on the bottom where you have mute, stop video, security, participants, share screen. Then there's a happy face with a plus sign. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
When you click on that, you should see the clapping and the thumbs up and the thumbs down.
Correct, and I seen that, but I seen the hands come up on other people's
Right,
screens.
the hand, okay,
But
so
when
the
I-
hand,
the raise hand.
is from.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Right. But that doesn't stay where the hand raise will stay on the participant, where the clapping will show up in your video, your actual video screen.
Right, previously it wasn't doing that. And then the link, when I'm trying to click on the link that's in chat, it's not active. It won't let me click it.
It should
So in the chat, there are no, the link, you will have to copy and paste that.
Okay.
And there isn't a setup. Unfortunately, Zoom doesn't allow you to embed a link the way that normal chats would if you were in Facebook. So you'll have to copy and paste that one. We're going to send out the presentation that we just did, and I'm going to put the link on Yammer. So
And you can
hopefully you'll be able
highlight
to get
it and right click it and open the URL from the drop down and the right click.
Okay.
And that's
also, when you do copy,
I just saw that. I tried
when you copy the invitation and you move it into your email, it should create a link, but if it doesn't, you can go up and you can click link. You can highlight it, click link, and it will create a link as well. I always make sure that the link, I try not to have people have to copy and paste it. So I always try to test it out and make sure it works before I send it.
Lori, did that help? Is that okay? I had another Lori who had a question who's not on anymore. She must have got a question answered, I hope. Denise, did you have a question?
Zilberman?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. No? Okay.
Denise?
I just noticed there was a lot of, can you hear me?
Go
Can you-
closer to your computer.
Denise, I think your computer's a little choppy.
Can you write your question in the comments?
The video.
Denise, can you?
I didn't know about
can you,
that ever.
Denise, can you chat us your comment, or could you email Lori and I after, or email me after, and we can help you out? Okay, we'll go with that. Denise, we're having a really hard time hearing you.
I was talking.
Okay, the other thing was,
Nope. Okay, Denise, we're gonna get back to you. Let me get to a couple of the people that had questions, and we'll get back to you. Gail and Mulu both had questions. So Gail, you didn't have okay. Your hand was up, so I got confused.
She's just
Okay, Mulu. Okay, Mulu, did you have a question, or were you practicing the hand raising thing?
Just practicing. But while I still have you on, how is it like, say, for like running movies or different types of video? How smoothly does it run?
No, I do it in my classroom. We even just try to sing Happy Birthday, and we are all off. It is the most painful Happy Birthday song I've ever heard, and we try to do it. So then we try to do a Happy Birthday video, and it's just as bad because everyone has different bandwidth. Carol shaking her head.
I've tried this a lot with my students. And I do one of two things. I'll either send them the link and I'll say, watch this video up to this point and then come back to our Zoom. Or I'll say, everybody mute your screen. I will share my screen and play the video, but then there's a time delay for them watching the screen and hearing the video. So the kids complain up and down. So there's no good way that we've been able to figure out to share a video and have it share well.
No worries on that. That's how our choir is.
Ditto here. And the way we handle choir is our director plays the piano score, we mute ourselves, and we sing individually. Sounds goofy, is a little goofy, but the problem with Zoom is that the sound is not synchronized. In fact, I've got my my laptop and my iPad on this Zoom call, and the audio comes across at different times on each of them.
All you can do 1, 2, 3. Let's all start together, and it doesn't work.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, you got it, Mulu. All right, I think Gail now has a question.
Yay.
And then Carol has a question. So let's do Gail.
No.
Oh,
I'm done.
Okay, I'm gonna lower your hand, Carol. Okay, I want to make sure. All right, Gail, and then then we'll get back to Denise. I think she popped back in. All right, Gail, you're up.
Am I unmuted now?
You are.
Yes.
Yes. I can't remember who asked the question before. I apologize, but it was about when you're on a laptop and you just click through to the link without logging into your Zoom account, that it tells you need to download the file. When I do that, I use my laptop, I just click right through on the link, and it will say, if nothing happens in a few minutes, then you need to download the file. And I just wait 5 seconds and then I'm in. So maybe it's a different problem, but also I think if you just wait a few minutes, a few seconds, that's all it is.
Yeah, I think that was Penny. I'm going to work with her this week and figure out, and also if there's like older systems, newer systems, and messaging. So we'll get to that. But yeah, there's little idiosyncrasies with everybody's computers, which makes this super fun. But thank you, Gail. Did you have another question, Gail, beyond that, or? Okay, cool. Denise, are you back on? Are you with us?
She was back. She was in the waiting room and I didn't catch it. She's like, hello.
I'm trying to do it on my phone instead.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so my other question is, I always have to go back to the email that has the, the link. You said that thing about setting it up on your calendar. So it will automatically come up either on your desktop or your iPad.
Usually there's a link in the email that it's lightly underlined or it's light blue. And then what you
but then I don't want to have to look for the email.
You don't. Okay, so but when you get the email in the first place, that's when you put it directly into your calendar.
On my Mac, what happens when I add the calendar entry, it also adds a link to the email.
Yes.
Not every invite has a link. It sometimes will have a link, not everyone. When you set up the meeting, there are 3 little boxes there, you know, Google, Yahoo Calendar, iCal, or not iCal, whatever it is, Outlook. You have to actively highlight those 3 boxes to get those links in. But if it's a recurring meeting, it will have the link there.
And you can also, like, if I see that I have a meeting, I'm getting better at, like, even if it has a date, sometimes that will be lightly underlined, and I can say I want to create an event, and then I can put the link in there or something, or it.
If you have a Mac and it sees a date in an email, it'll create the event for you, but that's not true for PCs. Yeah. And also, you can, if you don't have a link to add it automatically, you can copy, as soon as you get that email, you copy the URL and you paste it in the calendar right at the time you want, and then it's there. Then you can right click it and say go there or open it. So there are
Apparently
workarounds.
Denise can't hear us, so we will, Denise will write you that answer.
Okay.
I
just don't have to go back to, I don't want to have to go back to the emails because sometimes I lose them. Because if people reply all of a sudden on an iPhone, you've lost the original one. Don't ask me why.
You're gonna want to make it this very first time that you get that email.
Oh, you have to do it right then. Oh.
Or you're going to be looking for it.
You have to add like a notification as soon as you get that first email. Oh, okay. Okay. But so far it's worked. I have to go back and find the, you know, the email, but people are not good at not replying all. And so then when they do that, you lost the original emails.
Amen.
Amen. Okay. I thought it was me. Although what's going on? I'm crazy. But on my desktop, it works fine. They're all there, but I don't always use that. So anyways, that was my second question. My first one, I can ask you. So I'm gonna. Today she couldn't do counts after we were already in a meeting. I'll tell her to connect with you. Maybe you could help her. And then Sharon actually needs some help on that too because we lose our.
Okay, we can do that.
Other stuff too. We've lost our crochet
call
because
me
it's a 1 hour.
Call me.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, and then Lulu had one last question about, bye Denise, thank you. Lulu had one last question about tied to the accounts about notifications and setting it up and having things pop up. So Julia, as she was kind of saying before, when you get that initial invite, there should be a way to save it to your calendar, and then based on the device you're on, if you're on a desktop, a laptop, your iPad, your tablet, if you have it set to have those notifications pop up in a certain way, it should let you know when your Zoom call is going to be going on.
And that's done right in your calendar entry for that event, if it's not automatically enabled.
Okay, I think that covered all the questions that we have. I know you're going to have questions as you go through your Zoomness and on meetings.
Yeah, you want to unmute, you can do that right now. We don't want to.
Yeah, there's a few enough
so
amount.
much, Shoshana and Lori. You're great.
Thank you guys for joining us. And please remember to fill out that Google form. I'm going to put it in Yammer tonight. And, you know, if there's stuff that we didn't cover, if there's other tech tools you want to know about how to use, please put that in there, and that will help us craft our next Zoom, which will be more of a deep dive or more of a help if you're like, I have no clue, I click a link and then I just sit here. That's okay.
And I want to welcome Carol Chaikin, who is from New York and joining us, although it's very late there. And Lynn Ullenbrock also joined us tonight. She's in the Midwest area, and she stayed up late to join us because you guys rock. Thank you, Shoshana and Lori.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thanks, Carol, for coming. We appreciate it. Get some sleep. Good night. And thank you all very much for coming. And We appreciate, and you guys have a great night. And if anyone has any more questions, we'll hang for a little bit. And if not, you're welcome to enjoy the rest of your night. So Gail, is that a high five or a question? It's okay. Okay. Very sure. All right.
Yeah, question.
Okay. I can't go into the questions and wish for the good vibes. Anybody have any more questions?
I think Karen has a question. Bye, Karen.
All right, Karen. Bye, guys. Karen, hang around then. All right. Karen, what is your question?
So when we have two devices and we're getting feedback, is it because we're too close together?
Yes, I noticed that before I start the meeting, I turn my Wi-Fi off of my phone. That seems to help with the bandwidth. If my kids and I, because 2 of them are working from home, luckily our meetings are kind of at different times, but like even if the TV's on and getting the Wi-Fi. So what I usually do is if you can hear better on your phone, then turn the picture off and just do it that way, and then turn your sound off on your computer so we can see you, but then you can hear on your phone.
Okay, like we were doing a family Zoom last night and we were in the backyard because it was nice. So I was trying to be at the same table with my husband. He had the phone, I had the laptop. That didn't work at all. So then I moved to the other side of the deck, but that still wasn't far enough on 2 devices.
Right.
So then I eventually went in the house, but I think having both of them on the same Zoom call too close together did not work.
Yeah, when we did a family Zoom, one of the times we were all like, we just all kind of went around too, but then when we all had our own, we just kind of went to a different room.
Yeah, it didn't work at the Seder at the same table. I mean, it's fine when you're next to each other, but then
it's all the bandwidth. It's
Yeah.
just you can't handle all of it, and then it starts getting all staticky and different times. And
okay, I figured that wasn't going to work, so we just have to be on the same call in different rooms of the same house.
And the person that's closest to your Wi-Fi box or whatever is going to get the best.
Okay.
And Karen, what I usually do is, because my computer audio is sometimes really lagging, I have a dumb phone. I'll call in from my dumb phone. Even if the link isn't part of there, I actually have Zoom saved as one of the numbers in here and then enter it that way. And sometimes that's easier. And one thing I noticed, if you have a free account, this is harder, but if you have a paid account, you can do it. You can just call in to the meeting, but if the meeting is set up by somebody who has a free one, it's a little bit trickier to get the call in.
The free one, they have taken away calling as an option.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could do the
So
link.
they used to have that.
But they can't do the call. And even though I have the teacher one and it's upgraded, there's no phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was
hard
horrible
because
for our
a lot of
last
people
sisterhood
don't.
meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's no more calling on the free accounts anymore.
No. And Evelyn, I'm going to put the link on the Yammer, so it's on there. Are you
I
on
got
Yammer?
it. I got it.
Oh, you did? Oh,
I'm
good.
just
Awesome.
filling out
Okay.
the form. I'm sort of a visual learner, and when you started saying things, I didn't see it would be nice to have like a visual about where you're pointing to and things like that. I need to practice, and I think that's part of the whole learning process for me, is just to do it over and over and again. If I make a mistake, well, I tell the people, hey, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, and get back online or something like that. But I have friends in my sisterhood. I'm president of my sisterhood, and they're really not able to do a lot of stuff. We've been trying to Zoom while we play Mahjong, which is kind of interesting. So we have that Mahjong thing. And again, some of my friends are just having a hard time getting their mute on or figuring out how to get their picture on there. In fact, I saw one of my members try to get into this particular thing and had a hard time. I can't show her because I can't go over to her house and show her. And when I used to teach computers to my kids, it was basically, if they did something, I put your hands up, don't touch the screen, don't touch anything. Let me see what you did. And they would do this, and I would have this like this, and then because I think they just destroyed something on a file or whatever, and it was basically redo something real quick, and I showed them. So they didn't do anything wrong, but I know that fear because I've suffered it for a long time. And I usually have my husband come and help me, and I don't want to rely on him to come and help me. So I just need to have a visual in the learning thing.
I just put the slideshow, which she's going to put in the highlight and everything. I just put it in the chat. So if you copy and paste that, that has a lot of visuals and it has a lot of videos that we didn't go over.
Good.
But Flo, it wasn't the Flo that was on, it was the other Flo that a couple days ago, she needed a meeting before the meeting to get on, like you said. And so I was able to get her on, but unfortunately she wasn't on tonight's meeting. But maybe I taught her everything in that one private. So if people need help, we can do it. We did our own Zoom. Well, first we did it by phone, and then eventually we got her Zoom on, and it worked, and all of that stuff. So.
Well, and if we have a list of people that need, one-on-one help with Zoom, and I mean, you two can't do all of the one-on-one help with Zoom. I mean, I'm happy to help with people that need, and we may have a list of people that have time, because this is not going to be ending anytime soon. And I'm happy to help. I know I've walked my aunt. I had to walk a cousin through it who was, she's not old. She's only 43, but she never used Zoom before, and she's not really tech savvy. And for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they could go without Zoom, but it was apparent that they were going to have to learn Zoom. And it took a while. She caught on faster, but I've had to walk my mom through it, my aunt through it, or they weren't going to be talking to anybody.
No, that's good to know, because I'm still working during the day, and Shoshana, so that's great, Karen. Thank you.
I mean, people could go 2-3 weeks without talking to people, but as it looks like it's going to go months and months, people are going to have to do something, or they're not going to be seeing face to face. So anyway, and I don't know if you're playing Real Maj, Evelyn.
Yes.
But we do it on a conference call on the phone rather than trying to do it with Zoom. And it's a little bit less tech consuming. And
I know, but my friend does it on, she got into Zoom, she paid for an account, and it's her thing, and I have to do it. I personally like to do my FaceTime, or she just wants to see her face so we can see if we're putting the tile there. Oh, the surprise on I wanted that tile, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, if you play with and you see the person when you're playing there's a lot of body language that you can exude from looking at their face. But I'm just filling out the form, and I'm sure there's so many other questions. So you said the other thing is that I just have to onto the Zoom chat. I see that you had put in the very beginning, where did it go? The video, right? Is it in the video?
It should be the last thing, the chat on the bottom. The very last chat. I put the link, and it has the video in it.
Oh, excellent.
I think I'm good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Karen.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And Evelyn, I just posted the presentation to Yammer. So the whole presentation is in there, including the link to the video and the links at the end, and how to reach out to us, and everything you need to know. So feel free to share that with your sisterhood.
Yammer. I try to get on it again, and I can't. They won't give me my new password. So I'm like, again, if I can just have a brain that would record passwords, or they would just flash up on my forehead so I can just type them in, it'd be great. But I can't get into Yammer. I've been trying to figure that out for a bit.
You emailed leadership at WRJ. They said that you were set up. You went in, and you can't get in with that email address.
Yeah, I can't.
I would email her again and say, could you reissue me? Go in and then type that in, and then say that you forgot your password, and it should enable you to regenerate a new password. And something that I use a lot of times is the first line of my favorite song, and I use the initials of every word.
Yeah. Well, my computer will keep it.
Save it?
It will.
It
Yeah.
should.
It says save password, and then I just, whenever I want to log on, it knows what I'm logging into, and I click log, and it comes right back up. So I don't have to think about it. It's already, my computer already saves those passwords, but I have not been able to get on. I don't know what happened. Maybe I typed something wrong or I did something, but and who is the person I need to find out how to get my password again?
It's on the last slide. So when you open up the presentation, the information on Yammer is on the last slide.
Excellent. Then I'll work on that. Okay, I'll figure it out. Okay.
All
thank you,
good.
guys.
And we'll sure, and we'll put it in the Highline. You get the Highline, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay, so we'll put all that in the Highline as well. So you'll have it multiple ways, and hopefully you can get into Yammer, so you can ask questions there as well. And Lori and I are on Yammer a lot, so we can help you out there too.
Thank you so much, you guys. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All righty.
Good night, Evelyn. All right, Lori, I am stopping and I am saving, and I will record this. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Actually, Lori, I think you're the host, so you have to end the
I'm
meeting.
doing it all now.